With Terraria's 1.4.4 update introducing all kinds of balance changes to weapons, armor and accessories throughout the game, now is a better time than ever to try items you'd usually dismiss. Today, we're going to be looking at a weapon which, despite its fame and prestige, was previously rarely used due to its underwhelming performance, but has now been lucky to receive a complete rework to a point where I'd safely say now makes it the best pre-hardmode melee weapon in the game. Of course, I'm talking about the Knight's Edge. Aimed at being the endgame ultimate weapon for pre-hardmode, this thing has slowly lost value over the years. However, with the complete melee rework, has it finally made a comeback. Before we look at its performance though, here's a recap of how you craft it. The Knight's Edge crafting recipe is one of the more demanding ones in the game, requiring 4 unique swords, starting with the Blade of Grass. You'll need to gather 12 stingers from killing hornets, 15 jungle spores found on the jungle floor, and 3 vines dropped from man-eaters. With this you're 1 down. You'll also need to get your hands on either the Light Bane or the Blood Butcherer, which is crafted with either 10 Demonite or Crimtane bars obtained from their respective bosses. This part should be pretty easy. You'll also need to delve into your dungeon and find the Muramasa, which has a chance of appearing in golden locked chests. And finally, you'll need the newly named Volcano Broadsword, which can be crafted with 20 Hellstone bars mined in Hell. With all 4 obtained, head to either a Demon or Crimson Altar to craft your one and only Knight's Edge. Okay, now you've gone through the work of getting it, you'll for sure hope it's good, right? And I have to say, I'm mightily impressed with the performance of this new and improved version. Aside from receiving a nice boost in DPS, its range and ease of use is unmatched for pre-hardmode, giving you a massive aura of damage around the player. I also noticed it being able to pierce a lot more enemies, further increasing its potential DPS. This makes it a lot more accessible, and not just another true melee weapon that was previously seen more of a challenge than something you'd genuinely choose over something like the Mini Shark or the Water Bolt. And the improvements don't stop there. Matched against a group of enemies, the new Knight's Edge absolutely blows the old one out the park, keeping the goblins far away from the player and hitting more at once. Overall, I just feel much safer using this version of the sword, as I don't feel like I'm going to take contact damage every time I strike an enemy. So, to truly see how powerful this weapon is now, I tested it against some late pre-hardmode bosses. Deaclops was just a joke, namely because of the absence of a hitbox on its legs rewarding melee play, but also the fact this sword took him out incredibly quickly from the DPS alone. You'll have absolutely no trouble sweeping up any pre-hardmode bosses left with this weapon, as it just kind of nails every stat now, not giving anything a chance. So then, at this point you're all probably wondering how does it perform against the Wall of Flesh now, and I'm happy to say from this experience, the melee class now has a weapon as effective as B-nades of the Star Cannon to take out the wall with. Using Molten Armor, buffs and damage prefixes, I'm able to take out the wall in sub 30 seconds. Compared to the old Knight's Edge, I could barely scratch it using the same setup. The lack of range for me was the main killer, and yep, resulted in my death. The differences made with this rework are literally night and day, and has finally made a weapon I've always wanted to be worthwhile actually one of the top tier weapons against the Wall of Flesh. The question now is, should you go out your way to get this thing? And I'd say absolutely, as it'll not only make late pre-hardmode a breeze, but also significantly lighten the tough early hardmode melee load a bit as well. Also, in my opinion, the crafting recipe isn't even that challenging really, and I find myself organically collecting all 4 swords just while playing, so you really have very little to lose when crafting this thing. What do you think? If you've used the new improved Knight's Edge, how much higher would you rate it than the original? Thanks for watching. For more Terraria content like this, drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.